What is up? We are finally back, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Wheelhouse here on the AAT Sports Network. I am Chip at Chip for the Birds and Umpire Stories, joined as always by my partner in crime, JD at D2M Pods and Kegheads_TM. JD, what is up?
Man, it's crazy. Had a rough week, had a good week. All my teams won, so I guess I'm in. I'm good. I'm locked in.
You should be locked in. I mean, look, we had to take a little bit of time off only because Phillies playoffs were happening, and I mean, it was straight up impossible to do a show with the way the playoff schedule was. And then honestly, the depression kicked in after they were eliminated, and all kinds of stuff. So we took a couple weeks. We're back. We should be on the regular now. Hi, Nick. That's my kid's buddy. So we got to keep it slightly PG. Slightly PG for now.
He needs to go to sleep.
Listen, that's my man Johnny Shakes. JD, of all people, you would understand my man Nick when I call him Johnny Shakes. You and him got similar situations.
Okay, fair enough.
So for those of you that don't know, which by now I hope you do, this is the Sports Wheelhouse. We got a bunch of topics on a wheel. We go, we spin the wheel, and we talk about sports. Y'all comment in, we fire back at you, and we do a thing.
Fair enough. Let's get it rolling.
Let's do it. Let's get it spinning, sir.
Well, either way.
Let's get it spinning.
Wheel rolls too.
So because it's been a couple weeks, we got very broad topics tonight, and let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happened was. Okay, now you notice the two topics that are next to each other, so we have to do this without talking about the other, right?
Okay.
So we got to talk about that without talking about James Harden, because that's a whole separate topic.
Fair enough.
So NBA season kicked off. I want to start by talking about the Sixers. Right, I want to start by talking about the Sixers. Are the Sixers a different team because they fired the doctor and trusted the nurse?
No.
Stop it. Stop it. Let me have something. Let me have this.
No, they suck. They still
suck. They don't suck.
Not yet.
Not yet. Aha.
It's the start of the season.
Adam's checking in. Trust the system. Yep, indeed.
We're not doing that. I don't trust anything with trust now in front with Philadelphia's anything. I don't trust it. Like, it should be just go with it. Don't trust it. Just go with it. Because if you start trusting these guys, these GMs and these guys that are making all the decisions, it doesn't work. The only person y'all didn't trust is the person that did the most. You didn't trust Howie, and that dude went out here and got you gold.
All right, fine. Can we praise the process?
No. Forget the process. That's what it should be. Forget the process and hope for the best. That's what it should be.
All right. So hold on. Let's break this down. Understanding that it is the first couple games of the season, I do understand that. But can you honestly tell me that this Sixers team does not look much more complete than they have in recent years?
They don't, bro. They're not. First of all, they're not playing anybody that's playing defense right now. Like, nobody's playing defense. That's why.
We know that there is a difference between regular season basketball and postseason basketball. So let's just start there.
Okay, fair. Let's just start there. Like, right now, as it's considered, where no one's playing defense because they don't really have the depth that they need. They look okay. When Kelly Oubre is one of your better players, like, you suck. Like, let's just be real. Like, let's just be honest.
So I'm going to push back on you a little bit, knowing that you're a big basketball guy. I'm going to push back a little bit. When you think about great NBA teams with an elite superstar, so I'm talking about, when Kobe led a team to the finals with nobody on that team. I'm talking about when LeBron led a team to the finals when nobody was on that team with him. What did he have around him? Role players doing the damn job. True?
I mean, not really, dude. You got Hall of Famers on that team. You don't have
besides LeBron James, who was a Hall of Famer on that Cavs team when he was leading them solo? Ziggy?
No, you got I gotta think back. Because the first couple years he had Larry Hughes. He had some dudes.
Oh, stop. You cannot say that. But Larry Hughes at best is a role player. If Larry Hughes is your second leading scorer, then you shouldn't be anywhere near the finals. A la your Kelly Oubre example.
I got to look at those teams. But he didn't have anybody, but that's in the East, and the East is different. Like, when I'm talking about the East now, like, you have legit contenders. Like, you have Milwaukee, you got the Heat still. Boston's still a problem. Like, the way this team is no better than any of those three teams I named. And that was just off the top of the dome.
The team that LeBron took to the finals. Ready for this? The team that LeBron took to the finals. Daniel Gibson, J.J. Hickson, Ziggy, Darnell Jackson, LeBron James, Trey Johnson, Terrence Kinsey, Sasa Pavlovic, Joe Smith, Wally Zerbiak, Anderson Vareo, and a beat-up Ben Wallace. I'm not even giving him credit for being Ben Wallace. He was a 12-year veteran at that point. Delonte West, Jawad Williams, Mo Williams, and Lorenz Wright.
Okay. That team was in 2003 or 4?
2008. That was 2008, okay. 2019.
2008. Who was playing in 2008 that's still playing now?
LeBron.
Okay. So he's the only one from that time that's playing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this team that we have right now is not better than any of the three teams that I named previous to that. So, and you would have to come, and that means you're in at least a fourth or fifth spot, depending on how good Atlanta is.
Which we know, because we know the Bucks are going to be up there, right? Yep. We know that the Heat are going to be up there.
Yep.
We know that the Celtics are going to be up there.
Possibly Charlotte.
No. Charlotte started their season 2-4. Stop it.
Listen, Charlotte is a better team than the Sixers. So is the Atlanta Hawks. They're better teams than the 76ers. You just don't want to hear it because it sucks.
No,
to hear
because here's the thing, right? You look at what the Sixers are bringing. So you have a dominant, as of right now, Joel Embiid. Now we know he's going to get tired as the season goes on. We know he's going to take some time off. We understand he's going to have that nagging injury as the playoffs roll around. But right now, he looks absolutely destructive. You also have Maxey playing up to a level that he has yet to play. We're talking like an all-star caliber level. Then you got your Kelly Oubre, who's playing his role. You got Tobias Harris, who is currently playing a role.
You just said the word that we all need to hear. Currently. We know what type of show
this
ends up being. So I'm not going to allow you to do this thing where you get all excited about something that has not happened.
Yes, you will.
I will not.
I don't know who Jaquavius Nesbitt is.
That's Jaja. I know him. It's Jaja.
But I don't think he plays for the Sixers.
No, he's one of my
Wouldn't surprise me.
He's one of my Special Olympics kids. He's one of the good ones.
I love that.
He's a hooper.
But again, so looking at this NBA season early on, the Sixers look like a different team. They're not just standing around and taking three-point shots. They're actually running an offense, which was our biggest complaint about them all last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually running a basketball system. True or false?
They're running a system, but that same system, but we already knew that Nick Nurse was going to bring a system. The only problem is that system does not work in the NBA anymore because people play differently. A system works in the NBA when people don't play defense. But when you all these great guys who would then eventually play defense, the system goes out of the window. You can't bring that system and play against the Celtics or the Heat or the Bucks, any of those top 4 teams, even maybe Atlanta, depending on what version of Atlanta you get. You can't bring that in there. So
I think you think higher of Atlanta than I do. I don't think much of Atlanta yet.
or New York. Like we still got to, and you still got to deal with New York. I forgot about New York. The Knicks. You still got to deal with the Knicks. So listen, I think we're like 7th. Like, let's just be honest.
No, absolutely not. Hard pass on that. The Sixers are absolutely not the 7th best team in the East. That is an absolute falsity. That is years of you being scorned by this Sixers team. Stop it, sir.
I'm just being honest. Like Nick Nurse couldn't produce even before. Even when he was with Toronto, it took Kawhi Leonard to get him a championship. So now you give him.
But again, you're talking about a championship winning system. Only a couple of years ago.
Dude, it worked one time and it didn't work again.
Haven't you seen Little Giants?
No, I'm not talking.
All it takes one time. One time.
No. It won't work again. I'm telling you. Don't get your hopes up. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
I will get my hopes up. My hopes are up. The Sixers are at least at the worst, the 4th best team in the East. At the absolute worst.
You don't know what version of Atlanta is going to show up towards the end of the season. You don't know. In New York, you still don't know about New York. Like New York is they still
New York is good in New York. New York is good in New York.
So is Philly.
Stop it, sir.
You cannot do that. You cannot say it, and then when I give it back to you, you don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Teal is currently making pre-workout drinks and absolutely flabbergasted at the words you are sharing.
Listen, I'm sorry to tell you guys, do not get your hopes up. Do not buy season tickets. Do not believe the hype.
God damn it.
I knew he said the next. God damn it.
Listen, you can't get your hopes up. I'm telling you.
You mean the New York Villanova Wildcats?
Listen, Villanova has championships.
Oh, but that was so many years ago. They start doing all these other things.
Listen, let me ask you a question. How many seasons has went past since the last time we saw Kawhi Leonard in an actual meaningful basketball game?
Oh my God, he sucks so hard.
So let's just be honest.
He sucks so game, he literally went to the Clippers where players go to die.
And that's where James Harden then went. And
we haven't gotten to that topic yet, but I know.
So I'm just saying, like, listen, man, like, I know you want to be optimistic about it, and I've tried that.
I have to be.
Don't be. You don't be. We do this all the time. We get our
the Phillies crushed me again. The Flyers suck.
Yep.
The Eagles are on the bye. Let me have this.
Just have the Eagles. Hold on to the Birds.
Sir. All right, talk about the West then. Are the Nuggets going to repeat?
No.
They're at the top of the West right now.
That's today. There's all kind of like in the West, you got to deal with injuries.
Yeah. And honestly, you got to deal with some pretty good teams out West.
Yeah, you got to deal with the Phoenix.
The Mavericks are right on their tail. The Warriors are playing pretty well. I mean, I think the addition of Chris Paul helps that team more than people are already talking about. And they're talking about it a lot.
Because you know Steph is having a hard time staying healthy every year. He has some type of nagging injury. So when you can plug Chris Paul in, they only has to play a couple minutes. Like now, it helps them. And then let's look at possibly being a 7th seed, being the Spurs, and you can have them to deal with Wemby in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I remember when we watched on draft night, and we were talking about how Wimbledon wasn't going to be very good, and he was going to have to bulk up. He is starting dominant.
Because he's 7'6", and he can move like a guard. So it's a very hard sell to, even without the weight and without the physicality, he's got so much more skill that it's hard to guard him. And imagine playing him as your set, like in the first round or in that playoff round, and then you get him in the first round of the playoffs, and you have no answers. The only guy that can really check him right now is
depending
KD.
on who you match up with. Like if you match up against the Suns, you can have him and Kevin Durant against each other.
That's what I'm saying. That would be a good matchup for him.
If you go against the Clippers, I'm sure they had somebody in 2017 when that team would have been competitive, or 2014 when that was a championship winning team. I just
think about it. So think about this. Imagine if somehow, some way, that God allows the Sixers to make it to the finals, and let's say they ran into the Spurs by chance. Like, who would you have on Wemby? You couldn't put Joel on him?
You'd have to.
But you couldn't.
You'd have to. And by that point, somebody, Daryl Morey, would have brought in an additional center to just body him up.
This guy can't be checked with a center. That's the problem. He pulls all the bigs out. If you notice, he's not playing in the post very often. Like, he's in the post maybe.
No, because if there's a crack in the floor, he'll fall through.
Yeah, I mean, he's just exposing bigs, and he's then playing defense on the other end. And as soon as they put it up, he's just tossing it. He's a problem. He's going to be a problem for a while. And he's not like Yao Ming. Like, he can actually move.
For now.
For now.
Back to the wheel. Nope. Okay. This is real easy because I'm heartbroken here. Baseball season's over. The Phillies, I'm going to be honest, massively let them down. Let the city of Philadelphia down. You had everybody ready to go. You played against a mediocre Diamondback team, and you took it where you had to win just one game. One game at home. And Aaron Nola, as Aaron Nola tends to do, blew it. The bats went cold, and Aaron Nola absolutely blew it. And sure enough, the Texas Rangers mollywopped the Diamondbacks in the World Series. In a World Series that, I'll be honest, I didn't watch a single pitch of, and I think most of America didn't watch a single pitch of.
It was very unsexy. I'm not gonna lie, very unsexy.
Yeah. So
it's like if your wife comes to bed with that moo on, you know there's nothing happening.
Yeah. So I think that now we got to have the conversation, and I'm gonna be honest because I can do this. I want to focus on just the Phillies for a few minutes. There's obviously moves that they had to make. So the first thing they did is they made a qualifying offer to Aaron Nola. I never want to see Aaron Nola in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform again.
Facts.
He has reached any and all peaks and plateaus that he could possibly have earned as a Philadelphia Philly. Is he going to be the highest, most sought-after pitcher on the market? Absolutely. Is he going to demand and be worth the, according to the numbers that are being shared, reportedly $30 million plus per year for 7 years? Is he worth that? Absolutely not. Is somebody going to pay him that? Absolutely. I need it to not be the Phillies. Should Aaron Nola go somewhere else?
Yes.
Great. Thanks. How about Rhys Hoskins? So this is a tricky one. So
yeah,
for those of you that aren't like big Phillies fans, like Rhys Hoskins played first base with us on the World Series appearing team. He got injured in spring training, did not appear again. To make up for it, they taught Bryce Harper how to play first base, which meant that Schwarber could DH, that we could put an actual outfielder in left field. We got play from Rojas in center field, which was surprising. And then Castellanos had his best season of his career. So now there's not really room to bring back Rhys Hoskins. Unless Harper goes back to the outfield, in which case Castellanos goes to left, Marsh goes to center, and you're losing defense in the outfield again.
I don't think you want to lose Marsh. Who's the third baseman? I can't think of his name.
Alec Boehm. He ain't going nowhere.
He's not going nowhere. He's nice. If I'm being honest, you could do a lot worse than keeping Rhys Hoskins, though.
I love Rhys Hoskins. I absolutely love Rhys Hoskins. I just don't think there's a place for him.
I mean, but there's so many injuries that happen during the year, like you can find a place for him.
But the money that he's about to get is not a backup first baseman role.
But he might not be in a backup first baseman role for very long because the injuries, like if something happens to like, you know, Lord forbid something happens to like it is every year with Bryce Harper, he always ends up on the DH for a little bit. Like wouldn't that be a good investment? Like kind of having an insurance policy, like in case he does go down, you have another power hitter that can, you know, serve as a primary hitter for you guys. Just because of his history with his injuries, as far as like the way he swings, throwing his back out every year, It just seems like it's a smart thing.
The issue with the Phillies is at this point, your biggest weakness is pitching. You're absolute. So you're returning JT Realmuto as catcher. You're returning, and I'm going to just pencil him in. Bryce Harper at first base, Bryson Stott at second, Trey Turner at short, Alec Boehm at third, Martian left, Schwarber at DH, Johan Rojas at center, unless they get a Mike Trout, and then right field Castellanos. There is no room for Rhys Hoskins, but you are going to lose Aaron Nola in free agency, and you need an additional pitcher.
The pitching, you've had bad pitching for years. So let's not say. I mean, so to say that you wouldn't go out and get more hitting isn't a hard sell for anyone, especially anybody that's been watching for a couple years. And because I've been watching for a couple years, I do know that pitching has been a problem. So to say you're going to fix the pitching is crazy. Like, you're not going to fix the pitching, especially with them in 1 year. Like, it's going to take years, and you got to get your farm system back right. You got to figure out a bunch of stuff. So what you can do right away is you can go after a guy like Mike Trout, or you got to try to sign like
Mike Trout is injured goods.
He may be injured goods, but he may play different playing at home.
That's true too. Or you go after a guy like Shohei Ohtani. Like, there are big name guys out there
for a couple years. He can't.
But we're not getting any of those guys. Our offense is set. Our pitching needs to be fixed.
But what I'm saying is, with a guy like Ohtani right now, like, to go after someone like that, the only way you would do that is if you needed the hitting. You don't need the hitting. You need the pitching from him, and he can't pitch right now. So he's out.
Right.
And the only guy I would actually go after, I honestly would say, would probably be Mike Trout, because he's from the Philly area. I mean, he would be the one, and he's a sexy pickup too. Like, no home.
Oh, he'd be he already is an Eagles season ticket holder. So, Eric, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. And besides that, I don't care what the rest of Major League Baseball does, because the Phillies are the best team, and they should have been in the World Series champions, and Aaron Nola sucks, and I hate him.
That's very strong words, but let's move on.
Well, hold on, no. Haven't I been saying this for a minute or two now, though?
Yeah, but I've been saying the same thing about James Harden, so let's.
But James Harden does suck.
Let's move on.
You really want that to land on the wheel, don't you?
I just need to get it off my chest.
Because it's been a couple weeks. I'm not a fan of just letting stuff linger, but we're not there yet. Yo, JD, college football is weird this year.
Super weird.
All right, rapid fire. Is Ohio State the best team in college football?
No.
But why are they ranked number one?
Because they're Ohio State, and they still got they got Penn State this week, or that Penn State got Michigan.
They already beat Penn State.
Yeah, but okay, so they got Michigan coming up at the end of the year.
They got Michigan coming up.
And
we know that Harbaugh ain't gonna beat Michigan.
Huh?
We know that Harbaugh ain't gonna beat Ohio State.
He beat them the last 2 times he played them.
Sir.
Michigan has beat Ohio State the last 2 times they've played them.
Hold on.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
I'm up history. Here we go. Oh yeah, they've lost 2. Hot damn. Oh, and actually they got mollywopped the last time.
I'm the resident college football guy. Like,
I am deeply apologetic for what I've done. Actually, they've lost both of their last 2 really badly to Ohio State.
And they're going to lose another one to them really badly. Ohio State is not a good team.
But they're ranked number 1.
Because they are. Because they're tired of the SEC and Southern teams having all the guys. Because then by the time that it's all over, like, they fall so far back because they started like the 4th spot that it would get. So that's the issue.
All right. So give me your top 4, because right now, according to football, it's Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. Obviously, Ohio State or Michigan is going to lose, which bumps Washington into the picture. So give me your top 4 in order right now.
Georgia. Number 1.
Just because Georgia?
No, because, Georgia's proven it the last 2 years. So you got to give them, until somebody knocks them off, they stay there. That's how I feel. Number 2, probably, if I'm just being honest, it probably is Michigan. I just think Michigan's stronger than Ohio State. They've proven it for the last 2 years. Then I think it's Florida State. And then who's 6 and 7?
So according to this, 6 is Oregon, Texas is 7, Bama's 8, Ole Miss 9, Penn State 10.
Don't count Bama out.
You never count Bama out. They lose their one ugly game and then they sneak into the college football playoffs.
Don't count Bama out. I think Bama, when it's all said and done, Bama's going to be in that 4th spot, and because they're going to win the SEC. So somehow they're going to give Georgia that one loss in the SEC championship game, and they'll be back in the talks, and it'll mess it up for everybody again because Texas already messed up and they already lost. Oregon's already lost, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Washington won't have a good enough case to get in because they'll lose to somebody in the Pac-12 championship or something, and they won't get in. And then they'll have no strength to schedule because the Pac-12 sucks ass cheeks. And so then, that's just what it'll be.
Next question. How far is Caleb Williams' stock falling every week?
It's terrible. He's falling at such a dramatic rate that not only is he not going to win the Heisman, but he's making a case that he doesn't have the mental fortitude to play quarterback in the NFL. And I think the number one prospect in my mind as quarterback is probably Shedeur Sanders, if I'm being completely honest. Even
with the way that the rest of their season has looked,
because he can't play defense, he can't control the offensive line. But when he's putting the ball in the end zone, he's getting points up. He just don't have no defensive line, offensive line. He's been sacked 46 times or something.
I mean, but what about Penix? What about Michael Penix? Because he's literally leading that team entirely on his own.
He's 28 years old.
Who cares?
Listen,
you had what's his name win a Heisman?
Chris Winkie.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but look at Chris Winkie's NFL career. It was trash.
You don't award a Heisman based on potential in the NFL.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying the Heisman. I said
if that's the case, Tim Tebow never would have won a Heisman.
No, what I'm saying is you should ask who's the better draft pick, and I said Shedeur Sanders is.
We were talking about draft picks, and then you mentioned that Then you mentioned that Heisman stock was falling. So I apologize. We're kind of having two conversations.
Yeah. Heisman, I don't care. You give it to him. He can have it. He's 45 years old. Give it to him. He's the most mature guy.
Yeah, Porter's saying that he holds on to the ball to pad stats, and he might very well be.
Listen, I hear what you guys are saying, and I get that. Porter's an Ohio State fan. I get it. He's, all I'm saying is, right now, if I got to take a quarterback, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders. He's got the
But he's not coming out this year.
Right now he says he's not coming out this year, but he can. He could possibly come out. And his draft stock is a lot higher than it was before the season started, just because of the type of season they've had. And
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be really honest. If he keeps getting hit the way that he does, I would come out. Because at least if you're getting hit at that level, you're going to get hit getting paid millions.
And with Porter's thing, he's saying Shedeur has the mentality. He does have a mentality. And in the NFL, you're going to have an offensive line that can protect you at least somewhat.
Well, you'd hope. I mean, you've seen Bryce Young getting absolutely massacred. And you've also seen C.J. Stroud put up astronomical numbers.
Yes. So, we're there. I mean, that's the two different. I mean, that's the two sides of the coin. But if you get somewhere, let's say the Patriots need a quarterback. So the Patriots take him.
So much.
The Patriots take him. They got a whole nother system now. Now they are back in. We're talking differently about the Patriots in the next couple of years. But a guy like Shedeur Sanders, with the pedigree he has, he can read defenses. It's just the situation. He doesn't have enough time to do those things. So it's been miraculous that he was able to beat the teams that he has beat, because offensive line looked like my son's flag football team line, offensive line. Those dudes are little. And so it's like I said, it's probably the best time to get Colorado right now is because they are undersized. And like Deion says, I don't think you'll be able to catch them in probably a year or two, because they're going to be hot. And all the recruits are going to want to come there. So
will they be the same team without Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, he's got a 5-star coming in. He's got a 5-star already coming next year. He's already committed. So that's why I think that Shedeur is leaving, because he went and said he wouldn't have had that 5-star coming and make him sit on the bench wait for his son. Like he's probably knows that Shadir's
he's not that guy, right? So I mean, I'm on CBS's draft prospects ranking quarterback. They still got Caleb Williams ranked as the top prospect. I think that's wrong. They got Drake May ranked number 2.
Drake May is good though. Drake May is
good. They got Shadur 3, JJ McCarthy 4.
Listen, I believe Drake May is probably the number 1 prospect coming out, but number 2 or 3 ain't bad. But I know Caleb Williams ain't got it. I'm telling you, he ain't got it.
No, and the thing is, like, you listen to everything that's going on with Caleb Williams, like, oh, well, you know, if I join a team, I want stock in that team. I want to be able to like buy part of the team. Sir, you are not Patrick Mahomes.
Sir, I just saw you jump in the stands and cry in your mom's arms. Like, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that he is plummeting very, very quickly.
And Porter's saying that Shadir can make every throw, can throw the ball, and he's shown he can make every throw. Listen, dude, I'm telling you, their trajectory got hit a little bit because they lost their best player for 2 weeks in a row with the concussion, which I think is BS because that dude did that on purpose. But
100%. Well, that's like the hit in the Eagles game. Like, Dallas Goedert got his arm broken. It wasn't he broke his arm. He got his arm broken.
Yeah, I mean, as we'll talk about the Eagles here in a little bit, and I can't wait to talk about them. But man, listen, like that trajectory, they were moving at a very high rate upward. And I think that kind of knocked some wind out their sails. Then they took that loss and then they started losing more rapidly.
And they showed what the team used to be. Like, not a knock on Dion at all, because he took over a 1-win team. What were they? A 2-2? I forget what they were.
I mean, they won 1 game they were like 1-11 or something.
Right. They were a 1-win team. So it's tough to replace that overnight. And I think that they were ranked because they did have those big wins, but it was premature. They had to build up a little bit. Porter saying Caleb's draft stock has plummeted, but is it due to him or the team? I think it's due to him. I think that the team itself is bad.
Doesn't he have Jerry Rice's son as his receiver?
He does.
I mean,
but Caleb Williams himself has not looked anywhere near like he did last year when he won the Heisman.
Can we throw this out there? I want to throw this out there to everyone who's a college football. And I know Porter's a college football fan, so I'm gonna throw this out there to him. Look at all the previous Heisman that Lincoln Riley has had, and look at how they've panned out when it gets harder.
Yep,
like that system, that run and gun and spread it out air raid system works in college because some of your DBs aren't top-notch DBs, but when everybody's top-notch in the NFL and you're really getting down to the nitty-gritty, those guys can't really read defenses. It's more like they're throwing to a spot. And guys like CJ Stroud, who's out now doing really, really well, like those guys are throwing to receivers. They're throwing guys open. Marvin Harrison Jr., like last year, like he was probably the best.
Oh my God, he was disgusting last year, and he's only gotten better.
Yeah, he's probably still the best, but
he in my mind is the number 1 overall draft pick.
He should be, and I don't know how to say this because I don't really like Ohio State, and everybody knows that. But he is the best player in probably college football right now. And
yeah, I think that he should honestly win the Heisman. And I think for me, so it's always tough because when you have a wide receiver, someone's got to get the wide receiver the ball, right? So Marvin Harrison has absolutely shown last year that he was an exceptional receiver. But he's now shown again that he's an exceptional receiver with a different quarterback, which means it wasn't the quarterback, it was Marvin Harrison Jr. And I would not be surprised if
their quarterback is now carving NFL corners now. So it's not like
it's not like he's a schlub. And looks like we finally have an Ohio State quarterback who's worth talking about in the NFL.
I mean, you could possibly.
But Marvin Harrison Jr., in my opinion, should win the Heisman this year.
You could say Joe Burrow, though. I mean, technically.
No, you cannot.
He was
won
there
championships
for more time
with LSU. Stop it.
He was at Ohio State longer than he was at LSU. Let's just be honest. Let's call it a spade.
But he played for LSU.
Yeah, because look who he was playing behind.
Doesn't matter. He won with LSU. He sat with Ohio State.
Practice matters.
Sir,
practice matters.
You will not hear me say that Joe Burrow is an Ohio State quarterback. You just won't.
You may not say it. That doesn't make it.
He's Bayou Burrow.
Okay, how about this? He's no less a quarterback from Ohio State as Jalen Hurts is a quarterback from Alabama.
I don't care where Jalen Hurts was playing a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You have to say it. It's real.
But here's the thing. It's real to the sense. It's real to the sense of the stigma that comes with being an Ohio State quarterback. You cannot tell me that Joe Burrow gets to break the mold of terrible Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL. You don't get to say that.
This Ohio State fan is saying this. I don't know why.
He's not. Porter's saying Joe B is not an Ohio State quarterback.
I know what he's saying, and it's hurting their case. It's hurting the case that Ohio State can't make a quarterback.
Ohio State cannot make a quarterback up until C.J. Stroud.
We still need more evidence.
We do need more evidence. I mean, he had absolutely astronomical numbers, which was great. And he sat on my bench in fantasy last week, and so did Tank Dell. And I lost by 4/100ths of a point. So let's not talk about that.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, it does. And Porter's saying he doesn't even claim to be from Ohio State. So I think that's kind of the point, right? He claims his LSU-ness. C.J. Stroud is different. But Marvin Harrison, to me, is the best. What's up?
Isn't he from Ohio?
Yeah, now he's playing in Ohio, but he doesn't claim Ohio State as where he played.
Well, he didn't play there. He just went to practice
there.
He went to practice there. Practice man.
Right.
I just told you that.
Well, in that situation, I went to enough Kutztown football practices that I am a Kutztown football player, alumni.
You are, and they're going to put you in the Hall of Fame one day.
I really want to be in the Hall of Fame somewhere. I was a really good mascot.
That's rough.
I was like a really good mascot, man. My stupid knees couldn't take it, dude.
Oh, I do that. I do have to complain. Can I complain real quick?
Sure. Do you want more of the screen?
No, that's fine. I can do it from here. All right. So a couple weeks ago, I went on this rant about Dabo Swinney.
No, you need to be screen. Hold on, wait. You need to be screened for this, sir. You got to eat your crow on the big screen.
Oh no. I'm not eating crow. This is what you're know. So I got a lot of flack, got a lot of likes, a lot of stuff. It almost went viral. Just because my friend tried to burn all of his Clemson stuff in a fire pit, which he did. He officially did it. And I'm here to tell you guys that went down, but Dabo's a bad coach. I'm just throwing it out there. He didn't have a choice last week but to play the backup running back. And who everyone's been telling him he should play over Will Shipley. And he finally did it because he didn't have a choice because Will Shipley was out. And boom, voila, we go and knock off Notre Dame. It's crazy what you can do if you listen to your people. Offensive coordinator has been pretty much trash all year. Scored 21 unanswered points to start the game with. Then they kind of played, let the defense kind of hold it down. Took down the number 15 team. Although you've been beat by Duke, Florida State. I'm missing somebody. Did North Carolina State beat us? Somebody else beat us. We got 4 losses. So a bunch of other teams beat us. So at this point in the game, the problem is Dabo. Dabo goes on this radio show, berates this man for asking him why does he need $10 million if he won't coach, and all of a sudden now dude's out here winning. Somebody should have been called this dude out. All these little all in and bring your own game, bring your own guts. This stuff has been a problem. You know what I'm saying? And Porter, it says it right here at the bottom right here. He has been a bad coach for a while. And Duke can look around at his staff. Look at Brett Venables, who's at Oklahoma. Look at his offensive coordinators, at Virginia. Dabo's done a really, very bad job of placing new people, and it's starting to show. And I don't know, man. We're at a spot now. We got to either piss or get off the pot because this dude is really messing it up.
The loss that you forgot was the loss to Miami.
Oh yeah, shouldn't have lost to them. They're bums.
So Duke, the number 4 ranked Florida State team. So that's a quality loss.
But we almost won that one. That's 31-24.
And then Miami, NC State, you lost both those games.
Yeah.
And you finished with Georgia Tech, North Carolina, and South Carolina, which is at the bare minimum, you need to go 2-1 in that stretch.
For who?
For Clemson to be bowl
eligible? Yeah.
Well, no, they're bowl eligible with one more win. But Georgia Tech is 4-2, so that's a winnable game. North Carolina is ranked, so I kind of have the loss there.
It's Drake May. So, yes.
And then South Carolina is a win.
Nope. Throw the record out. We lost to them last year.
I know. South Carolina is just like a bad team, though. Like, and my cousin-in-law goes to South Carolina, so she's been all about going to the games and everything, and they're a bad team.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they won't beat us. So, we're also a bad team. So, there's
all
that.
right. Anything else you need to get college football off your chest?
No, let's move on. Making me depressed.
You feeling hurt?
No, I'm not feeling optimistic.
Well, I am.
I know you are. Let's talk about it.
Because my Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL.
EAGLES. Eagles.
So the Philadelphia Eagles are 7-1. They are on the bye. The only loss that we had was a straight up look ahead game. We 100% looked right past the Jets. There is no question in my mind. And when the season is written and we are 16-1, we are 100% going to say, man, we were looking ahead to the Miami Dolphins and we looked right past the Jets. And no one will say it, but that's what it was. Besides that, this Eagles team has just found ways to win. They have still yet to play a complete game. They have yet to play a complete game. Probably the closest was to that Miami Dolphins team. But they have weaknesses on offense. They've been facing injuries. They have weaknesses on defense. They've been facing injuries. Yes, we gave that game away to the Jets, Porter. I absolutely agree. But the fact of the matter is that we are getting to the bye week at the exact right time. We are going into this gauntlet that we always knew was going to be tough, where we have the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Bills, and the Seahawks, and then the Dallas Cowboys again. That's a tough gauntlet.
Seahawks are trash.
The Seahawks are trash. But we're going to play, and the 49ers are going to talk a good game about, how they're coming for blood, but they ain't worth diddly either. The Chiefs, we are probably going to lose to the Chiefs coming off the bye week on Monday Night Football.
You won't.
Unless everybody comes back healthy, which is what I was going to say. But I think that this Philadelphia Eagles team is the front runner, and I do not understand why they continue to be disrespected. Talk to me.
Who? The Eagles?
Yeah.
Dude, we already know what it is. Nobody likes the Eagles. They're almost as bad as the Cowboys. The only time people talk good about the Eagles is when they talk and they have to talk about the Cowboys with them. Like, that's the only time, because people hate the Cowboys so much. They don't believe in Jalen Hurts. They hate that Jalen Hurts is become something, and he is who he is. Like, no one likes it. So
according to ESPN, right? According to ESPN, this was released today. The NFL Football Power Index rankings, they rank the number one team in the NFL, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, as the 7th best team in football.
All right. I need to throw this out there. You've beat 2 of the damn quarterbacks ahead of you.
Yeah.
You have a chance to beat the 3rd one in 2 weeks.
And the 4th one, and the 5th one.
So
we got Mahomes coming up, Allen coming up, Brock Purdy coming up. We've already beaten Tua. We've already beaten Dak.
It's just a narrative, man. It's an easy narrative for them to spin when it comes to Jalen Hurts, because he's the low-hanging fruit. Because he's not your prototypical quarterback. He's not sitting in that pocket. I mean, he's trying to do it more, but he's more dangerous with his legs, and he hasn't really even used those this year
because his knee is hurt.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's just put it in the perspective for everyone. Like, I want to do this because I've been kind of hearing this, and I don't like the narrative. When people win games, like they used to do it with Tim Tebow in college football. Oh, he's not the prototypical quarterback. Well, he won. Like, the goal of the game is to win. Doesn't matter if it's pretty or dirty. Dude's got legit championships because he was a winner.
And that, to me, like, when we talk about the idea of the greatest of all time, right? The idea of the GOAT. To me, Tom Brady is not the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
He's the best winner.
He is the best winner to ever play the game. He won games. He had so many 2-minute drives. He was the most clutch. He was the Kobe Bryant of the NFL, where you just knew if he got the ball with any time left on the clock, he was going to win the game. But best quarterback play? No, I still go Peyton Manning. I still go Joe Montana. I still go Dan Marino. Those guys are better than him at the quarterback position, but they don't have the rings. Winning matters. It's just that simple. Winning matters. And Jalen Hurts, since coming into the NFL, has won games. One of the reasons why people are so on Brock Purdy's top is because he has won games.
Listen, I hate doing this because it's not a good comparison, but I have to do it to make my point. People used to talk cold cash money trash about Ben Roethlisberger, including me, because he could not beat Tom Brady. He just couldn't. Nope. Ben Roethlisberger in his heyday was probably a better quarterback than Tom Brady, but he could not beat him. And for that reason alone, I will give that makes you a good quarterback. You have to win. You're the leader of the team. Like Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. This is true.
Yeah, and Brock Purdy probably is not even the best thrower on the team because they got Deebo Samuel, they got Christian McCaffrey. So those guys are both better at throwing the football.
All I'm saying is, man, like what people have to realize is we need to take this narrative away that this guy has to sit in the pocket.
That doesn't pass.
That's not the football game that we're playing, and that's not how you're the most competitive in this day and age, where linemen run 4.5 40s. Like
right. And the brotherly shove isn't a football player. Why? Because you can't stop it.
Play? And if it is, we're good because we got Malata and he played rugby.
And he flat out said this isn't a rugby play.
Listen, if you want to call it what you want to call it, it is a play that you don't like because they can't stop it.
And you know it's coming. Like when we were pinned on the 1 yard line this past week, everybody knew this was going to be a brotherly shove to move it out of the, and they gained 5 yards, and Micah Parsons crowd surfed.
All I'm saying is, listen, it sucks to suck.
It does suck to suck. And that's not the Eagles' problem. So for me, like, again, Chris Sims, I will never listen to another word that man says because he flat out has a personal vendetta against Jalen Hurts. From when he used to rank him below certain quarterbacks that aren't even in the NFL anymore to now the brotherly shove needs to be absolutely banned to whatever. The fact of the matter is that when the Eagles won their Super Bowl, they went with this underdog mentality. They went with this, no one likes us, we don't care ideology. And it's there all over again. It is there all over again. And this Eagles team is drastically better than the team that won the Super Bowl.
I will say this, and I'll be done. What makes the brotherly shove, what makes it illegal is you're lining up. There's nobody offsides. It's just one offensive team exerting their force in sheer competitive nature on you. Your quarterback squats 600 pounds. So when your quarterback squats 600 pounds, you already can't get them down regularly, but now you got dudes behind them pushing them forward, which happens in every other play in football. When you need to get a yard, it's a QB sneak. It's just that he's stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
And he has the best center in football. So, yeah, kiss my butt.
Yeah. So, continuing our trend through the NFL, Carson Wentz is finally on a team.
What?
Carson Wentz got signed to the Rams today.
He still plays football?
Not until today when the Rams signed him.
Are they missing someone?
Yeah, what's his name? Stafford's got a UCL sprain in his thumb, and Brett Rippon was not the answer.
He's got a urinary tract infection that keeps him. That's keeping him out.
A UC joint sprain.
Oh, they said UTI. Like I thought that was because that's what held out Wentz the last time. He had back problems from having a UTI real bad, so his back was hurt, so he was out for a while.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we know that now, but I thought he said he had a UTI. And I remember Carson Wentz had one of those one time when he got hurt, because he got hurt so many times. He, like if you don't drink the cranberry juice in time, apparently it makes your back hurt. So, he got really banged up that one time.
Oh my God.
That dude was made out of paper mache. And unless they give him a new body frame, I don't know.
UCL's Tommy John, not UCL, the thumb joint. He's got a messed up thumb.
So it's
I've got
not a
Bryce Harper
UCI.
on my mind still, Porter. I'm sorry.
So it's not a UCI.
No,
You sure?
he's got something wrong with his thumb. The Giants suck so bad.
They stink.
It's actually comical.
My neighbor's a Giants fan. I don't think we watched any of the Giants games. So that's just like, what is happening?
It is.
I think at this point he watched more Eagles games than he has Giants games.
Because they got Danny DeVito's long-lost nephew playing quarterback.
Who?
Tommy DeVito is the quarterback currently for the New York Giants.
He played for Syracuse, so I can't give him his love. He played for Syracuse.
He passed for -9 yards in his debut.
Hey man, it goes down in the DMs, bro. Like it goes down in the DMs. Yeah.
How about this rumor that's going around? Bill Belichick will be fired on the flight home from Germany.
You said what?
The rumor is that Bill Belichick is going to be fired depending on how they play against the Colts this weekend in Germany.
Man,
Like he's not going to make it to the end of the season.
Man, that boy ain't getting fired.
I mean, I don't know. They're real bad.
They were gonna be bad no matter what. It's not his fault. He's not hiring and firing dudes. It ain't his fault. You need to fire the front office guy.
How about Josh Dobbs, the pastronaut?
One more time. Let me just one. I hear what you're saying. I just want to throw this out there real quick. Like, how many players? Name the best player on the Patriots right now.
Jalen Reagor.
Unlike Jalen Reagor in his mishap. So yeah. So y'all blaming Bill because he's got stuck with Jalen Reagor. Come on, man. Like, get out of here, bro. They just going after Bill. They need a reason to complain. You know how Bostonians are.
Yeah, but ever since Tom Brady left, I mean, they just haven't been the same team. Because again, Tom Brady is the winningest quarterback in NFL history.
The best winner. Like the best winner. Like
it's almost like losing the best winner in football history. You're supposed to still be a great coach, and it's funny how that doesn't work.
Yeah, because he's the best winner of all time.
Because they went to Mac Jones.
He tripped over.
I love the Josh Dobbs story. I'm a huge fan of that. Where
I'm not.
Why?
He played for us. He kind of looks like
it wasn't his choice to leave.
He kind of looks like Charlie Villanueva, which makes me extremely uncomfortable.
No, I'm talking about the fact that he played for the Cardinals, who are doing everything they can to suck. So then they trade him to the Vikings after Kirk Cousins obliterates his Achilles.
Right.
And what's the first thing he does after replacing? He literally was traded there on Tuesday, doesn't know the receivers' names, and leads a game-winning drive.
Listen, I hear what you guys are saying. It still makes me uncomfortable that he looks like Charlie Villanueva.
All right, well.
Like, every man should have eyebrows. Like I'm just saying, like you can't not have them. Like
why?
You can't.
Why are you like this? He's got alopecia. Why are you like this?
Just draw them on. Women do it all the time.
He's got alopecia. At least sweat off.
They get them tattooed now.
What, sir,
listen, I'm saying like he we don't even know if he's ever surprised or anything. He's like this. Like you can only tell by the actual eyeballs.
Terrible person.
Listen, I'm just saying, man. Y'all give me a hard time. I had Josh Dobbs for like 8 years at the Steelers. Like that dude sucked it up the whole time he was there.
He did.
Now all of a sudden he want to go do like lead drive. What was he at when Big Ben was out there screwing it up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was he doing all that whole time?
Getting his eyebrows tattooed? Stop it.
He never got it done. He was avoiding the needle.
Okay. I'm not even putting it up. The last topic of the evening. And I don't know how we got to this point. Just waiting. James Harden, about a week ago, was traded from the Philadelphia 76ers in the middle of the night to the 2014 NBA champion LA Clippers.
2000 what?
14, because that's the only time that this combination of players would have won a championship.
Yeah, but that's not them.
They didn't actually win the championship. I apologize. No, the bunch of old heads who can't ever play NBA quality basketball at this point. What are your thoughts on the James Harden trade? Did we get enough? Good riddance, all that good stuff. The floor is yours, Mr. JD.
We could have gave him away for a Chinese rub down and a pack of now laters, and it wouldn't have mattered to me. Like, James Harden is a team cancer. He is a fat bum. I don't have any other words to like describe it. He's a entitled prick. He is probably worse than Ben Simmons because he actually had a grievance to want to leave.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So, like, that's what I'm saying. But, like, he's not catching as much flack as Ben Simmons, which is crazy to me. Dude didn't catch nowhere near the flack that Ben Simmons caught because Ben Simmons had an issue with something his teammates, his coach said about him. And he didn't want to play there anymore. This dude literally didn't want to play because he promised him that he have more snacks in his locker room. Like, get out of here, Ben. Like, you're half the reason all this crap happened. You refused to play defense. You came in here out of shape. You started all this crap. You made us the Philadelphia Rockets.
Yeah. Also, PJ Tucker gone. See ya.
Yeah, like, he take him in his shoe collection. Like, I don't need that. And then I'll do this for you just to let you know. James Harden game never evolved, and he's still the same player that he was when he was in Houston. And all he wants to do is go hang out and do hood rat things with his friends. So, yeah. I
think it was a telling sign when you saw videos of him entering the locker room and nobody was excited.
Like, hey, man, like this bum. It's like, what?
No, Russell Westbrook wasn't excited. The backup point guard wasn't excited. Nobody was excited.
I mean, they kind of did. They did like a handshake. Like, they're like, "What are you doing here?" And like, they did like some type of weird, like,
yeah, it wasn't even like a homie handshake. It was like all right, business.
It's like, dude, we've been here for I honestly believe that James Harden is just doing a money grab real quick before he gets too fat and turns into Fat Thor, like off the movie.
And I agree with that.
It's a money grab. Like, I mean, at least he got away from us to do this money grab. Like, I don't want to be paying him.
And the thing is, like, you listen to what he's saying. He's like, oh, well, I was Mr. Team. Like, I took a pay cut here and I did this and I changed the way I play and I did that. I'm like, sir, we took a drastic step back trying to incorporate you into the offense and it never came to fruition. And you being on this team slowed down the development of Tyrese Maxey.
Listen, man.
I think Maxey learned a couple new things to do. But besides that, him still being on this team slowed down that progress. Now, you mentioned the whole not getting the Ben Simmons got more flack than James Harden. Here's the thing. You knew what James Harden was coming in. He is a player that has bounced from team to team as a locker room cancer. Ben Simmons was drafted by this team. He was a part of a championship caliber team. When you had Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and we gave up Jimmy Butler for Ben Simmons, and then for him to throw his fit. I think Ben Simmons was more of we were hurt by the situation rather than with James Harden. We kind of tried it and we knew it wasn't going to work out, and we gave it the good old college try. And then, and in my mind, we absolutely fleeced the Clippers.
Oh yeah, we definitely got more of. But okay, so this is what I was saying about the Ben Simmons situation, and I know we've been through this in ad nauseum, but I just need to.
We don't have to be. By the way, Ben Simmons, hold on real quick, has played 6 games this year, averaging 6.5 points a game,
nice.
10 rebounds,
nice.
6 assists,
nice,
and has attempted exactly 0 3-pointers.
He's not a 3-point shooter. We already know that.
But
you guys knew that when y'all drafted him, he wasn't a 3-point shooter. So
if you watch all of his workouts in the gym, he's nailing 3-point shots.
Listen, man, you do what you need to do. All right. All I'm saying is the issue with Ben Simmons wasn't the fact that he didn't shoot 3-pointers. The issue was that he passed up a layup. That was what we're mad. That's what everybody was mad about. And his dumbass coach, who we've now gotten rid of, has also been let go.
Get it?
So,
what's up, buddy?
You missed our downing of the Cowboys, so I'm sorry about that. You missed that whole thing.
We actually didn't rag on the Cowboys too much.
We can go back if we need to. We can always double back. I just want to put it out there that like that is now looking at hindsight being 2020, like I think they gave up on Ben. And I think
I agree. And I think that it had to happen because of the way everything had been going on.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to double back real quick in a second.
They stink.
But like, if you were to tell me, like, okay, Ben Simmons is going to rejoin the Sixers now, like, I'm not as hurt as long as Ben Simmons comes in and knows that his role is to rebound for Joel Embiid, who's going to stay at the 3-point line and to pass the ball.
I wanted his role to be though.
But it wasn't when but that's not what it came in as advertised. It was the second leading scorer. It was the second best player. You know what I mean? It was overhyped to that level. And I think we see that a lot. We've seen that a lot. We saw it with Markelle Fultz. We saw it with Andrew Bynum. We saw it with Jahlil Okafor. We saw it with Nerlens as well. It's not their fault where these players get drafted and picked up.
But what I'm saying, Chip, is he was an all-star. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, he was okay in whatever role he was in. He's never claimed to be this elite scorer. That's what everybody else is wanting him to be.
But he did claim to be a point guard.
He is a point guard. He does point guard things. He just doesn't shoot. He does. And that I don't mind. But now in this situation, Tyrese Maxey is your point guard. No, Tyrese Maxey is a shooting guard. He's a creator of the buckets. He's not really setting anybody else up for anything. So let me just throw this out there. Had you not ran out and gotten James Harden, and you would have let that situation like just kind of do what it needed to do, Maxey would have been your 2 guard. Ben would have been getting rebounds and starting the offense and facilitating. Joel Embiid would have still been the guy, and Maxey would have continued to progress, and Maxey would have eclipsed. He would have eclipsed Ben, and Ben would have just been like a Magic Johnson type point guard that can't score.
Sure.
And you still had Tobias Harris, who will be doing exactly what he's doing now, Mr. Unreliable. And
you see, I don't again early into the season, Tobias Harris has not been unreliable
yet.
I said early in the season he's averaging 20-some points a game. Kelly Oubre is averaging 20 points a game. We got 4 players averaging over 20 points a game in this offense. It's great.
I get what you're saying, but eventually people will start to play defense, and this will stop.
I understand. The James Harden thing, like, good riddance. And the fact that we got, like, in my opinion, the fact that we got, like, Robert Covington, who was loved by this franchise, right? He's going to break the all-time 3-point record for the franchise. You've got Nicholas Batum, who I have always thought is a very, very good player. Marcus Morris, who is a straight-up boss when it comes to the power that he has.
He's the less talented of the 2 twins.
I don't care. He is a boss when it comes to the power that he can provide. He puts the power in power forward. I'd like to see us develop Kenyon Martin Jr. a little bit. Like, they got a good return for him. And draft picks.
You got more for him than what he was worth. So, yes, you fleeced him and you kind of got over in that way.
And it's funny because Kenneth says here Sixers need to fire their front office. Literally, this trade, and I agree with you, and we know we're not on the big Morey tip. This trade saved Morey's job for another 2 years.
It didn't. It didn't, and it can't because you're the one who brought the problem here to begin with. So, no, you don't get the cure can't be worse. The cure of the problem can't be worse than the problem. You dig what I'm saying? Like bringing James Harden here was way worse than Ben Simmons would have been staying here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but in reality, what you've done is you've traded Ben Simmons for 4 quality role players and some picks.
But you didn't because you had 2 years of dealing with James Harden. So you only got James Harden.
But you got an MVP in the middle.
Who?
Joel Embiid won an MVP award.
Right, but he would have still gotten that with Ben would have stayed. I'm just trying to bring this thing full circle that the Ben Harden
Ben Harden
trade didn't need to happen.
Real quick, because Kenneth is talking mad smack. Listen, Eagles won the game because they're the better team. Y'all forgot to run the football, even though that's your kind of bread and butter. You had to go out and sign Martavius Bryant today because there's other receivers besides CeeDee Lamb.
I do like Martavius Bryant.
I did in 2018 as well. Yeah, I thought that was a great pickup in 2018. I just
why do you think they did that?
Because they need other wide receivers, and Noah Brown is.
Why do you think they went and got that particular person from that particular age group?
Because he had VCR clips, and I know that's how they watch their Super Bowl highlights. I don't know.
No. They did it because he saw what they did with Julio. They went and grabbed Julio, and they were trying to be similar.
But Julio Jones is not the same as Martavius Bryant.
Martavius Bryant was a beast, man. Y'all need to put some respect on his name. Bro, Julio Jones was a beast too until he
Julio
wasn't.
Jones is a Hall of Famer. Martavius Bryant is not.
He may be.
No, he's not.
Does Martavius Bryant have a championship?
Oh, my God. Yes.
With the Steelers?
Let me check. Hang on. No.
But he was a Steeler with AB, right? I'm pretty sure he was.
Martavius Bryant played from 2014 to 2018.
For the Steelers.
No, missed 2016 because he was suspended. 2018, he played for Oakland. He has a career 145 catches for 2,183 yards and 17 touchdowns. That is not Hall of Fame numbers. He is a long, long way to go.
Listen, I'm not saying that, but I will say that if they went and signed Calvin Johnson, then what? Now,
well, that's a different conversation. They should have gotten a running back. Yeah, Tony Pollard as a feature back has struggled. And he was the better of the two between him and Ezekiel Elliott. But he has struggled being the focus back.
I'm pretty
he's crackheaded.
Bryant's cousin is Kelly Bryant, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's what Kevin is talking about.
Oh, yeah, relative Kelly Bryant. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kelly Bryant. All right. Last thing I want to talk about Dallas, I want to throw this out there. Dallas is always a day late and an inch short.
Like, it's almost comical at this point.
Like, they can't even get out their own way. Like, even when they should succeed, they just can't. Like, they just can't figure out how to do it.
and I want you to mark the time. I want you to mark the date. It is 9:49 on November 7th. We are an hour and 7 minutes into the show. We are on a collision course for the most toxic NFC championship in the history of football.
Why would it be toxic?
The Cowboys and the Eagles at the link for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
No.
We are in a collision course. Mark the date, mark the time.
Dude, no, because you still got San Francisco.
San Francisco is struggling. And yes, they went out and they got Chase Young, which was a great pickup.
Right.
But the rich got richer. But the problem is that Brock Purdy is still basically a rookie quarterback, and he is still somewhat Mr. Irrelevant. You have to consider him the same way.
Listen, I am telling you, San Francisco will beat the pants off of the Cowboys, literally. Especially with Dak not being able to stay upright. Like, their defense is going to stifle them. They're going to stifle them. And if Brock Purdy can't do it, they still got Debo. They still got Christian McCaffrey. One of them will
And that's my point. That's my point. That team is exactly what they have shown. And look, it's going to be a high-scoring game when the two of them play. But I honestly feel like the way it's going to go is that we are going to end up with San Francisco, and Dallas will have to beat, I don't know, some other NFC team that kind of got a little bit up ahead of everybody else.
I'm telling you, it will not go to that point because San Francisco is the second best team in the NFC. So they won't see each other until the end of it. It'll be San Francisco and it's be San Francisco and the Eagles. Let's mark it right now. NFC and you said the link? Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's 100% of the link. 100% of the link.
Because what'll happen is Dallas will lose twice to Philly. So that'll get them 2 losses. So that'll put them third.
Kenneth.
No, he doesn't mean Super Bowl. He doesn't mean Super Bowl.
What does he mean?
He's saying that they're the side B. Like the side B. Like, well, like when you're not the main girl, you're the side chick. Like, I get it, man. It's sometimes confusing to try to read the Cowboys' words and stuff. It's really confusing. They speak their own language. It's like when they say like every year is their year. Like they don't really mean that. They mean that it's another year. That's what they really mean.
And like we them boys is we them boys that get beat up on. Got it.
Yeah, they have their own way of speaking. It's like, have you seen The Wolf on Wall Street?
Yes.
You know that part where he's talking about throwing the midgets into the dartboard? He's like they get together and they gossip. Y'all said that last year too.
Okay.
They get together and we don't want them talking to each other and they get together and they gossip. So you know, Cowboys fans are insufferable. I hate it.
Are you doing it?
Listen, I know
That
we're
part's
not gonna
true.
be there. That is so true. But y'all gonna be sitting at home with us. So, no.
Rewatching highlights from the 1996 Super Bowl.
I think we
94, 93.
Early 2000s. We got one in the early 2000s.
Right, but I'm saying when the Cowboys played Pittsburgh. In the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
It was like 93.
I don't think the last time they won when Deion had all of his toes and feet.
Yeah, definitely. Dallas versus Pitt Super Bowl. Was it 93? 96. I was right the first time. So,
okay.
Are you doing anything else podcasty-wise this week?
No, we're getting ready for basketball season at Greer High School, so we're gearing up and we're getting ready, and hopefully we'll get our ranking here in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully top 5, top 10. Definitely top 10 in the state. Hopefully hopefully the number 1 team in Granville County. That would be really cool to be the number 1 team in Granville County. It hasn't happened in a while, but it'd be really good to be able to say we're the number 1 team in Granville County. And then hopefully we'll make a push at the championship. So we're turning and burning. We're 100% in. So if you're in the Greenville area, Greer area. Oh, if you are a Greer fan, because I got you guys linked to my Facebook, Greenville and Greer playing football this weekend. So go Greer. It's a big, huge rivalry. And it's also to go to the second round of the playoffs. So the third round, if Greer wins, the Greer will play again at home. About to go with 1 game before the upper state. So and then after that game is a state championship. So if Grizz has a chance to go, this is the year that they should do it.
So we are live on the AAT Birds tomorrow. We got Clay Harbor, former NFL player Clay Harbor, coming on to talk all things first half of the season. So make sure you're checking that out on this Eagles bye week. We're getting ready to do things over at Norristown High School up here in PA. We are not competitive yet. We have our second new head coach in 2 years. And we'll see what it is, but I'll be letting you know because I am the voice of Norristown basketball. So I'll be on the microphone and talking about how that goes. And I'll have very close front row seats to how we are doing up in there.
I would like to add a segment. I would like to add a high school, our area high school segment. When we talk about schools in our area, the high schools in our area, and just kind of big these guys up. I mean, like we talk a lot about pros for sure, but let's talk about some kids who got some juice.
Dude, I love that idea.
And like we just shout them out, like just do it.
Dude, you're an idea man right there.
Listen, we just get some juice to some kids, like let's give them some juice.
I love that. All right, well, I'm Chip. That's JD. Good. Thank you guys for tuning in, and okay, bye. Okay, bye.